don't know what's going to happen on the Russia-Ukraine border and whether Russia will expand and have a full-scale invasion into Ukraine anytime soon. I don't really think anyone else does. But what strikes me here is at the heart of this, of the politics of this, is the following. Russia wants a guarantee from the West, particularly the United States, that Ukraine will not get into NATO anytime soon. The West doesn't want to give that guarantee for a lot of reasons, not least of which is they don't want to give Russia a de facto veto over who gets into NATO. And to make that deal would be seen as conceding something to Russia, a victory for Russia. Putin could go back to Russia and say, Ukraine's not getting into NATO anytime soon, or maybe not at all, and in exchange I step down, I won. But the problem is that, of course, the U.S. doesn't want to do that. However, what makes this more complicated is the reality. Given the membership of NATO now and where they stand, Ukraine isn't getting into NATO anytime soon, and perhaps not for a long time, and perhaps not at all anyway. So to some extent, what Putin wants is an affirmation of the status quo, not because he wants to change the status quo, but because he wants to change the power dynamic. He wants to be seen, Russia wants to be seen as the one making the demands on the United States and succeeding. And the United States and the West does not want to be seen as giving in to those demands. So that is what makes this such a complicated dynamic, but also why war, which may happen, could occur in spite of the reality that it is not good for any of the countries involved, and on some levels, none of the leaders involved want it.